My question is to the Minister for Agriculture, Minister Symes. Minister, the vital Ouyen Intermodal Freight Terminal project has the capacity to deliver very significant benefits for farmers and the agricultural industry more broadly in our shared electorate of Northern Victoria. This is particularly through substantially reducing the paddock to port costs of transporting export destined products like almonds, citrus, wine, grapes, hay, wheat and barley to Melbourne. However, the stalling of all activity on the Murray Basin Rail project has also now severely compromised progress on the intermodal. I therefore ask, what specific actions have you undertaken as Agricultural Minister to help facilitate renewed progress on the Ouyen intermodal, particularly in the weeks since the government's public confirmation on 20th of October that it is no longer prepared to commit to the full completion of the Murray Basin Rail project?
Thank you, Mr. Symes.
Thank you, President, and I thank Ms Maxwell for her question, and of course it's an important issue. I was up in that region recently in the past couple of weeks meeting with people who are growing our almonds and growing our citrus, and fantastic producers up in that region producing and contributing a lot to our local economy and employing a lot of people. I would take issue with some parts of Ms Maxwell's question. It is not we are not a government that has walked away from our commitment to the Murray Basin Rail project, and in fact Stage 2 works did upgrade the 109-kilometre section from Murrayville to Ouyen, allowing Murrayville to connect to the reopened Mildura line and importantly be able to transport those important agricultural produce as well as mineral sands. The upgrades have allowed farmers to access the Ouyen farmers to access the Portland port for the first time. The initial proposal, as has been well socialised, was not fit for purpose and does not reflect the current freight and passenger rail networks, and that's why we have committed to putting a further $48 million on the table, and that would bring the total investment for the project to over $800 million. The revised scope will see times for freight from Ouyen and a number of other regional towns delivered sooner and more efficiently, thanks to the ongoing commitment from our government and indeed our regional Transport Infrastructure Minister's commitment to this project. Unfortunately, as we know, we're very disappointed that the federal government once again let Victoria down by refusing to fund anything for this project, and indeed start to make up the ratio which we would expect for projects of national significance. This is particularly concerning, given that I know that the local national member Anne Webster and also the Deputy Prime Minister have previously been advocates for this project, so we were a little bewildered as to why there was no federal government funding in the budget, and we'll continue those conversations with the federal government so that we can get the appropriate funding to keep this project going.
Ms Maxwell on a supplementary.
Thank you, President, and thank you, Ms Symes, for that answer. Ms Symes, I'm wondering whether you would commit right now to joining me in meeting with the key proponents of the Ouyen intermodal at the earliest available opportunity that we could schedule that meeting in to discuss that project further with those stakeholders.
And look, it's not my practice to say no to invitations to meet with local constituents, particularly in my electorate, but I certainly meet with farmers and producers all the time. That's probably my favourite part of being the Minister for Agriculture, is the people that you get to meet. So I'm certainly able to have conversations with our constituents for involving local issues, but when it comes to the actual project, the details of the project, proponents have been engaged through the appropriate department, which is the Department of Transport, and I would encourage those conversations to continue. But if you'd like to have a conversation about broader issues, I'm more than happy to set up a meeting and engage in that. However, we might want to do that on Teams, because I was only up there 3 weeks ago, and I don't think I'll be able to get there before the end of the year again.